Hi, Mehul. Good evening. Welcome
Very
to
good
this
evening to
live.
you.
Yeah,
Very good evening to you.
and I'm really happy to have you today because having another coach is someone from my community, and as passionate about helping people like I am. So I'm always very excited to talk to people who are in the coaching and training area. So welcome, Mehul,
Thank you.
and yeah. So those people who don't know Mehul, Mehul lives in Mumbai and he is a life coach, and we'll get to know about him more in this conversation. So thank you, Mehul, for accepting my request to be my guest.
Uh, Firstly, very good evening to you, Ranjini, and thanks for getting me on the show. And I do as much very similar echo the sentiment as well. It's a pleasure
Wonderful,
to
wonderful.
be on the show.
Awesome, awesome, Mehul. So, Mehul, tell us something more about you. Other than being a life coach, you have a huge experience behind you, and very diverse. And tell us about your childhood, your education, your professional life, and you
Sure.
as a coach. Tell us about.
Says I'm a life coach and an executive coach. I assist individuals and employees in corporations to uh, create a better version of themselves, professionally and personally. Having interacted with a close to over more than 40,000 individuals in training workshops, over about 1,500 workshops, uh, the interaction with these individuals gave me a lot of insight into how different individuals work from a very varied set of mindsets, varied perspectives, what drives them, uh, and all these interesting elements of the human behavior and how individuals manage their thought processes. All of this led me into this great area of life coaching, which I find both enriching and extremely satisfying.
Wonderful,
Life coaching
wonderful.
happened as a transition from having spent about close to a decade in learning and development across industries. I've been a part of various industries over these last 25, 30 years that I've worked, and doing the kind of work that I was doing across these industries and as many years. uh, a lot of it comes from the childhood. And you asked me about, you wanted to know a little more about my childhood. So I am in fact I am very different from what I was in terms of how fat or lean I would be. So anyone who would probably have seen me about 35, 40 years, 35 years back wouldn't be able to place me very soon, very easily. So I've had a rough journey in there in my childhood because I was extremely obese, and as a fat labeled person, it's pretty difficult in the society. You know how it is. You're always under the radar. Look, people uh, kind of commenting on what you eat, how you dress up, and how you are. So I think there always is a transition. There is always this one single moment, which is enough moment, right? And when you tell yourself that it's enough, and you want to make that transition, and I think that also gives birth to a moment of leadership. And where, when we talk of leadership in a larger context, it is usually seen to be driven by either designations or power. But the fact is, it's far more encompassing. It's far more broad spectrum. Any individual who demonstrates accountability for actions, responsibility for outcome, and takes ownership of what happens without blaming. I think these are very strong traits of leadership, and these possibly can be seen and experienced uh, in a school going child, to a college going student, to probably to a homemaker, to a a very senior businessman to someone who's starting off his profession across the spectrum. One can see that and experience that.
Wonderful, Mehul.
So
And
that's primarily my understanding of leadership. To answer your
wow.
question.
Yeah, so thank you, Mehul, for that. And no wonder, being a Gujarati, if you are obese, I'm not surprised. It's no. But to touch upon, as you said, no, leadership is something. It's there in every one of us, and
Yes.
it's there from childhood as well. It's not like you're given a degree that now you are a leader or a
Yes.
certificate,
Yes.
and it's like it's there. You all you need is to acknowledge that. And
Yes.
many of the times we really abandon this ability, and no, we become, like the part of life of the, like, we are given beaten by the circumstances and people, rather having a choice of, as you said, accountability and responsibility. You said it very beautifully. So it is always with us to have that choice. And
Yes.
we having that power is that ability that shows that we are a leader. So
Very
thank
true.
you for wonderfully introducing yourself, having you have brought your corporate experience, your diverse industry experience into coaching and training. But Mehul, why coaching? You could have tried something else. Why coaching?
Yeah. Now, as I shared, Ranjini, that coaching was a natural transition from,
Mm-hmm.
when you conduct a lot of workshops, interact with individuals with diverse backgrounds, different mindsets, extremely different cultures, belief systems. Uh, and when these numbers are towards about 35, 40 odd thousand individuals, there's a bank of uh, you know individual experiences that get accumulated, and it's very interesting. It was extremely interesting to converse with an individual having a very diverse view on a similar subject matter. And when you start dwelling into why, is then when you start uncovering a lot of elements. And this element of uncovering, trying to understand the uh, issue at core, or the challenge at core, or the individual at core, got me interested into life coaching. And essentially, when we talk about this, Ranjini, about strengths, weaknesses, that each one has got their strengths, and then everyone's got their set of weaknesses and all of that. But one big learning that came through these interaction was, are we aware of how weak our strengths are and how strong our weaknesses are?
Hmm.
Because at times those strengths, as we may call them, could be situationally extremely be weak, versus those weaknesses which seem to be insignificant but they turn out to be far stronger. Which kind of got me to understanding it a little more closely in terms of, are we really being aware of that? And at the crux of most decisions that we take in life, be it personal or professional, which impact what we will be eventually. Uh, an element of being aware of what we are doing is at the core, the genesis. Very simply
Wow.
translated, if there is an element of interaction between two people, and one at the has deep rooted prejudice or a bias towards the other person, you know where the conversation is going to lead. Now think of these set of conversations which happen in business. Will the negotiation be right? If the conversation is between the employer and the employee, will you think the conversation will be as impactful? Because there's bias at play, there's prejudice at play. There's also one element called how well do we manage our emotions at play. So all these things got me very interested, and I started learning more about it. Uh, Started interacting with people with that perspective. So as I said, both satisfying and pretty enriching as well.
Yeah. So I could hear a lot of things, like you have this, you were really driven by the curiosity of a human mind and behavior, and how it really impacts a person.
Yes.
And even scenarios, like life throws many things, and
Yes.
how you handle it. You really being aware of your strengths and weaknesses to a very deeper level, a degree to
Yes.
which you are extremely conscious about it.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So I could really see you have brought all your experience and your career of interacting with training people, and it was a natural transition to become a coach. And your
Yes.
personal interest to learn and enrich, because it's equally enriching to
It is.
become a coach, and that's fine. That's wonderful. So Mehul, tell us something. Tell us about what you are planning for 2021. What are your long games? Who are you becoming in this year? And how is it? How does the future look like? What are you inventing? Tell us about that as a coach.
I'll break it into smaller pieces. And this year, 2021, like 2021 as well, has been, I'm sure, for most of us, has been pretty challenging. Not in terms of profession. I mean, we, to a very large extent, have been fortunate enough for clients and people going online. So that bit. But when you look at the scenario around, it's been pretty challenging for a lot of individuals. So 2021, 1 year element, I larger endeavor is to reach out to people, have a conversation with them, around them, and make an attempt to possibly be of some assistance to individuals. Uh,
Oh,
I think that to me is very critical, and it kind of uh, this thought gets fueled by feedbacks that I've received from individuals that I've interacted over these many last few months, especially apart from the other times that I interact on coaching assignments. Uh, and the feedbacks, of course, I wouldn't be able to specify those feedbacks, but they kind of fuel the thought that to reach out to as many individuals as I should. Of course, there's a number in my mind, but to reach out to those many individuals and offer and be of assistance to them.
yes. So that's
And
very powerful, Mehul. Yeah.
yes, and in most cases, when we try to unfortunately link it always to business numbers, I think it falls flat because uh, I would rather be driven by purpose, what
Mm,
I, what one wants to be and achieve, rather than have just a number to it attached to it, because it's very transactional then in nature, which I think is not one, the right way to look at it. In few years to come, uh, I would want to engage and interact with a segment of individuals who do not have the privilege of seeking assistance from a third person
mm-hmm.
for various reasons.
Mm,
It could be economic reasons, geographical constraints. Uh, they do not know whom to reach out to. So, another 5 to 7 years, I wish to very clearly create a huge army of individuals, empowered coaches who are able to take informed decisions, being very
mm,
aware, very clearly aware of what biases they deal with, thought processes they deal with very clear understanding of looking at things from various perspectives, and then taking a very, very informed decision. You and I on a daily basis take few small decisions, right? It becomes so
yes.
much a part of us that we seldom do think about it. But it always is the case. We are and what we will be is decisions is on the decisions that we take today.
Right, right. So bringing clarity at a very deeper level, no, when it comes to our
Yes,
thought process, and how that is really impacting the action and the result.
yes,
Result is like the third level of it. The beginning
yes,
is the thought, And how are they, is it coming from fear or resistance, or, as you said, bias? What is that driving you? And actually that is actually giving you there is a one intention that's front of you, and there are some hidden agendas. So no, you
Yes.
need to be really clear from where are you operating.
Yes.
And this is huge power. Today my kids were asking me like, no, humans have a special sense, mom. I said the biggest sense is your mind. The
Yeah.
biggest tool that human has is the mind. Either you control or it controls you. So the gear is with you. So I was really telling them how mindfulness really really helps the quality of life.
It does.
And I can
Absolutely.
personally understand like how much you have been through training yourself and people to reach a level where you can coach them, identify things for them, show them. And that's beautiful, Mehul. And you will uh, be a contribution to many people, the future that is coming. So, tell us how we can connect. If people are watching you, listening to this, how we can connect you. What are the best ways to reach you? Your social media handles, and you can even talk about the people who can reach out to you, like the clients, the your ideal clients. You can even shout out to them, like they can contact you, and you can even talk about the programs and service that you offer. So tell us about that.
Sure. So the best way to reach out to me is give me a call. If I'm sure, Ranjini, if you could, we can publish the number. My social media
Yeah,
handles, you can.
yeah. If you're comfortable, you can share your number, because it depends how people want to share their number, or WhatsApp
Yes,
or
yeah, you
yes.
could reach out. You could put me a message on WhatsApp or text me or call me on 98 193 and repeat it again. It's 98 193 You could
Beautiful.
alternatively reach out to me on my LinkedIn, which reads Mehul R Dhulia, and that's the same handle that you can reach out to me on Facebook. So these are various ways you could reach out, and you could reach out to me on Insta at Mehul Dhulia. I spell my name. You've got that on the screen. It's all small for my Instagram. So that's how you could reach out to me, and I offer my the assistance to. As I said, the genesis of what I do lies in a fact that uh, there are biases, individual prejudices, aspirations to start with of every individual, be it a small child of 5 years or be it a 15-year-old, 18-year-old teenager, to a person taking care of the house, the homemaker, could be a senior placed executive or a frontline executive in a corporation or an individual running the businesses. Uh, because the genesis of the services is to identify the aspiration levels, identify what stops strengths, weaknesses, biases. How do we take informed decisions and build that clarity of thought? So just about if you're viewing this live, or you're viewing it on a rerun on Facebook and other platforms, uh, you could reach out to me.
Wonderful. So Mehul is very much available on WhatsApp and Messenger, and he is a very
Yes.
good, quick to respond. And as he has shared his number, you can contact him. And he is a life coach, and any area of your life when it comes to informed decisions and the mindfulness and the quality of life that you have, he will be a huge contribution and impact. So, Mehul, what is the message that you want to leave to the listeners now before we close this conversation? What do you have to say to them?
Fact is the situation that we today exist in. in the last 1.5 years, especially. Uh, and of course, this is what I'm going to say has been around for a pretty long time. But what we've been conditioned to look at life at is look at the worst possible scenario. Now, what happens in when we start looking at the worst possible scenario and preparing, we've been all told prepare for the worst, and and then things fall into place. But in most cases today, especially, they don't work, and that has been leading to a lot of anxiety attacks or anxiety issues or stress, extremely stressful in situations. Uh, is to not look at the worst case scenario. Let's look at the most likely scenario, and life could be a lot different, a lot better. Uh, Individually and collectively would be able to handle anxiety at a far at a better in a better way. It can't be eliminated, but the frequency can be reduced, the intensity can be managed better. That's one thing that I would want to share. uh, yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful. Like you, as I said earlier, no, you have the control in your hand. You can have you can have all the tools of being mindful and having a control of your mind, or no, being
Yes.
controlled, being controlled by your mind. So yes, so that automatic to a consciously informed
Yeah.
person. And it's a huge opening, huge breakthrough for any human being to have that power in their hand, in with them, not just
Yes.
and one of the coaches, it's rather easy to say than do, but then we can begin and practice to master it. Yeah.
Yes, and the fact is, you brought about a very interesting point here about it's easier said than done. It's always mentioned, that it's
Hmm.
easier said than done. The whole idea about coaching is that the endeavor is not to tell anything, is not to give.
Hmm.
There are no answers for that. You seek your answers through conversations, and you knock at the right door. So that's the entire process of coaching, because it's far more sustainable, it's far more impactful, and results are there to be seen. Importantly, and in the entire element of awareness, as we call it, I know at a knowledge level, I know, but the
Yeah.
fact is, do I really accept it at a very, very far deeper level that yes, I need to. Now, very simply put, if someone's been wants to reduce weight, right, for the sake of, is aware of the fact that weight needs to be reduced, but does that translate into relevant action? It seldom does, because at a far deeper level, acceptance is almost zilch. As a coach, your element is to ensure that awareness levels are higher, the acceptance of that point, and once both these combine, relevant actions are just an outcome.
Yes.
So it's a triad which works very, very impactfully, which is awareness. The second is acceptance of that element,
Hmm.
and then the action, because without acceptance of awareness on its own in plane is a good feeling but doesn't give results.
Exactly, exactly. And coach is someone who will put you into action,
Ab-
and you
ab-
do it effortlessly. Earlier it is a
absolutely.
block or a big hurdle or struggle, but having a
Absolutely.
coach will make your journey easy.
Absolutely.
And you really,
Absolutely.
really have a guide with you to help you reach your goals. That's wonderful, Mehul, and I can keep talking about this. I know we can continue this conversation, but
Absolutely.
thank you so much for sharing the wonderful thoughts and perspectives that you have. And as a coach, you and me, we are in the business of adding value, and
Yes.
that's really, really amazing and fulfilling.
Fine.
So, thank you so much, and I'll catch you again maybe another time on a different conversation. But
Definitely.
tonight, uh, uh, I'm really happy and excited to know another coach, somebody who is co-creating a future where people are really empowered to live a life
Thank you.
the best,
Thank you.
right? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Take,
Ranjini, once again for getting me on the show. It was a pleasure.
yeah. Take care, Mel. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye.